Another day, another dollar. Thank the Lord for another 24, baby. We just getting back to the crib. Big back day today, baby. I tried 550. The first time I ain't get it. I tried it again. Got it the second time, man. Be persistent. Be consistent. If at first you don't succeed, try again. But getting right into the video, I still get a lot of questions, a lot of feedback, a lot of great feedback about the video I posted. This been about maybe a couple months now, about how I felt as far as working as a correctional officer. So I've been getting a lot of questions and about the hiring process. What's it like? What can I expect? So I'm gonna take the time on this video to go over what a typical shift would look like, working as a correctional officer. Right now I've been on night shift for about 4 years. So we can start right there. Me, usually when I get to work, I don't have like a roll call or anything. I work for the federal prison system. I used to do roll calls when I worked at the county jail though, back in the day. We had a roll call where like everybody meets and the shift supervisor goes over what all happened on the shift before. They go over anything they found, intel, surveillance, all that type of stuff, and then you might get assigned to what post you're working for that shift. Where I'm at now with the feds, it's like you just go straight. As soon as you clear the metal detector, get through the front lobby, you go straight to your post, wherever it is you assigned for the quarter or for that week, and you go meet your relief on that post, on that unit, and whatnot, and make relief. So for me, when I'm on night shift, I get there at midnight. I go through, like I said, you got to get screened through the front lobby, usually metal detector, make sure you don't have like no contraband, no gun, no shit like that. Boom, you make it through that, you go to your release. So I go to my the unit I'm working, I meet the second shift person. They work 4 p.m. to midnight, right? So they tell me anything that happened on their shift, anything I might need to know, how many inmates are on the unit. Then we switch off all the equipment. I get the walkie-talkie, the pepper spray, the keys and whatnot, and the handcuffs. And then they, after they tell me everything, they usually bounce. So from there, I work with another person. It's 2 officers on the unit I work. So usually on that shift, morning watch, we count as soon as we get there at midnight. You counting, you going through, got your flashlight. Most of the inmates are asleep, So you going through, you making sure nobody's hanging, nobody tried to escape, nobody's trying to hurt themselves. No, basically, everybody's accounted for, everybody's there. Because that's your main job working as a correctional officer. You got to make sure that all the inmates are accounted for. Nobody tried to escape. That's the main thing. Like, that's if somebody escaped, man, that shit hit the fan real quick, man, because you're supposed to keep these people confined in there for the duration of their prison sentence. So we going through, you make sure everybody's there, boom, you making sure they living, I usually try to make sure they chest rising, whatnot, while I'm looking in their cells, or if they in dormitories or bunks, while I'm going by, stuff like that. Then after that, you get your count. My partner who I'm working with, we compare our count, make sure our count is good. If you got the same count, then you call it in to the control center, boom, okay, you got a good count, okay, boom. Then we test our walkie-talkies. Every walkie-talkie on most of the units, they got a body alarm. It's a button you hit. Say like an inmate jump on you or some shit, man. He starts swinging on you, beating you up, man, or something crazy going on in the unit. You hit that button, and it's going to go to control center, and they're going to alert everybody in the prison, man. They're going to be like, control. They're going to get on the master. It goes to all the walkie-talkies. It's going to be like, control to all available radio units. We got a body alarm, such and such area, or staff needs assistance in such and such area. And within like 30 seconds, sometimes sooner, but usually 30 seconds to a minute is going to be all the staff going to be there helping you out. So we test our body alarm, make sure that's good. Then I go through the mail. I go through all the mail, make sure all the mail's good. Then I seal it up. And I put the mail out for the people in the morning to get the mail and take it out to be mailed out. Then we count again at 3 a.m. Then I got to wake up the people that work in the kitchen so they can go make breakfast. The inmates that work in the kitchen wake up around 4:30 in the morning, right? So we about 4:30, I wake them up. Then they usually leave out about 10 to 15 minutes till 5. They go out. Then we count again at 5 a.m. That's the last count for the night shift. Make sure, like I said, everybody's there. Nobody died, try to hang themselves, harm themselves, nobody, stuff like that, man. You just trying to make sure everything's secure. Boom, you count again. Then around 6, they all come out. All the inmates come out, usually turn the lights on. Then they start doing breakfast, you know. And then from there, usually it's downhill for me. From 6 a.m. to about 8 a.m., they do breakfast in, then they do the first move where they got the inmates go to work or they go to class or school or whatever they got going on for that day around 7:30. Then by then, 7:30 to 8 a.m., usually your relief showing up, give or take. It just all depends on the person or who your relief is or where they coming from. And that's that for the night shift. But that's that in a nutshell. Day shift, you might be a little different, man. I know every shift is a little different. Like second shift, 4 p.m. to midnight, they count and make sure all the inmates are there. As soon as they get there at 4 p.m. and they count again, I think around 10 where I'm at. First shift, they don't count. They usually count on the weekends at 10 a.m. on the weekends. During the week, they don't usually count during the daytime. So it just all depends. Every agency is different, you know. Like I said, when I worked for the county jail, when I lived in West Virginia back in the day, like when we first got there, we had like a morning or evening roll call where everybody met in a conference room and we went over like what happened on the shift before, what the supervisor expected of us and whatnot, where we were working at. Where I'm at now with the Bureau of Prisons, like I said, when we first get there, we don't have a roll call. We just get there and you expected to go straight to wherever your post is for that day. You know, so every agency is different, you know. But I can say this, like 99% of the time, it's the same structured routine, no matter if you're in the prison, county jail, supermax prison, any type of correctional facility setting. It's always like the same. 99% of the time, it's the same routine every day. You eat at this certain time. The inmates know they got to be at certain places at this certain time. They do pill line where they get an inmates their medication at certain times of the day. You know, it's only that 1% where shit is like out of the ordinary or shit that hit the fan and you deviate from the normal structure routine running that prison or whatever facility you at. So that 1% might be a fight breakout. An inmate gets stabbed. A staff member get assaulted by an inmate. You might have a natural disaster or something, man. A bad storm come through, man. And y'all got a secure shelter in place. Stuff like that. Say like the perimeter fence so the inmates can't escape. Maybe like your prison might have like an electrified fence. You know, as the inmates, they start climbing up on the fence, it goes off and it alerts control that something's tampering with the fence. And staff need to go check on that. That might go down. So you got to lock all the inmates in for security reasons. The cameras in the prison could go down. So you got to lock everybody in for security reasons. Stuff like COVID. When we had COVID, man, that changed the whole game for every prison damn near in the world probably, man. I remember we was shoot, they stayed locked down for like 6 months. They came out for maybe an hour a day. And there was a lot of sanitation when they went back, before they went back in their cells. And it was a lot going on, man. COVID was real, you know, especially like in the prison system. My prison, where I'm at now in Butner, North Carolina, I think we were one of the hardest hit prisons in the whole nation. They said we was like ground zero because we already like a medical facility. So it's a lot of sick inmates there, but we had a lot of inmate deaths. And I think they tried to say a lot of it was attributed or COVID contributed to a lot of that. So I don't know all the details. I just know, man, that whole COVID period, man, for like a year, it was crazy times, man. But we got through it, though. You know, that's the main thing. A lot of stuff you see working in the prison, man, you see it once, man. It's like it's in the back of your head. And then when you deal with it again, you kind of know how to deal with the shit when it arises again. Like me, I done found an inmate that hung himself. Right when my rookie year, I was only 6 months on the job working at that county jail. He left me to find. I found an inmate that hung himself. I'd have seen inmates get stabbed. I'd have seen inmates get assaulted. Luckily, I haven't, knock on wood, so far in my career, no inmate put no hands on me or try to swing on me or nothing, but I done had to break up fights or pepper spray inmates that was fighting and wouldn't stop fighting, or, restrain inmates against the wall, stuff like that. I done seen all kind of crazy stuff. I done down there a riot, multiple inmates upon multiple inmates fighting, goddamn about 30, 40 inmates fighting, going crazy. They're not listening to what we saying, so we got to bring in like pepper ball guns, stuff like that, the bombs and stuff, man, the all kind of shit like that, man. I done been involved in all that stuff. So it's like once you go through it once, you kind of know how to deal with it again. It's in the back of your head. You don't just sit there and freeze up. The main thing you want to do something. Don't just freeze up, man. I know, like, sometimes you might say you in your rookie year or whatnot, you never this your first time working in corrections. So it's sometimes, but if you see your partner, a staff member, even if you don't, it's a lot of drama sometimes in prisons, man. But one thing at the end of the day, man, even if I know a person don't like me, I'm going to be there. If I see them, an inmate on them, topping them, swinging on them, beating them, I'm going to be there, and I'm right there. I'm gonna put hands on that inmate, man. I'm gonna do everything in my power to get that inmate off of that staff member, So you always want to ride for your co-workers, because y'all the lifeline, and you will want the same thing for you. And if y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. I got merchandise for sale. This one of my shirts right here, lifting hard, living large, man. I got all kind of different hoodies and t-shirts for sale on my website, man. Mostly gym-related, fitness-related stuff, man. But check my website out, www.theghettobodybuilder.com. But yeah, that's a typical day working as a correctional officer, man. Like I said, it's different from agency to agency, prison to prison, man, because every prison has its own mission, what it's designed for, designated for. Every prison has different security levels. So there's like different procedures and policy in place for prisons, every prison. And like where I work at now, there's like, it's a complex. So it's 4 different prisons in one. But even though those 4 prisons are on the same complex, on the same grounds, they all are independent of each other. They all run differently. They all have different procedures, different policies, different things that goes on and occurs at those prisons. So like I said, man, if you new to corrections, you about to start, man, you just got to kind of get a feel for it. I tell all the rookie COs that's coming in, man, just be yourself. Don't try to be nothing you're not. The inmate's going to smell that. They're going to sniff that out right off the gate. Don't try to be too hard. Be no, Billy Badass, cowboy, shit like that. But don't be no pushover. Don't be like a duck. Be too soft to the inmates. Kind of be in the middle. Fair, firm, and consistent, man. That's what they taught me. I hear that. That's like corrections 101. You want to be fair with the inmates, firm, and consistent, man. And those things will take you a long way in your career, baby. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated.